Hello, my name is Joey, and I was the first person in the entire world to exit a conversational voice AI agency. And a conversational voice AI agency that I have been coaching recently just hit $60,000 in monthly recurring revenue within 17 days after launching. And keep in mind, they had zero voice AI experience before this. And in this video, I'm going to be breaking down exactly what they did in a lot of detail. Okay, I'm going to go over how they chose their niche, how they did their pricing, how they did their marketing, how they fulfilled on so many clients so fast, and exactly what technology they use to do this, because that's very important. And I'm going to be sharing everything in this video without holding back. And what they paid me to coach them was not cheap. So let me tell you, listen closely because I will be going over everything. So without further ado, let's get right into it because I like to move fast here. Okay, so first let's go over niche. So this is something that's really important, of course, because it's going to decide how you do your marketing, how you do your pricing, how you do everything. Now, what this person did is something that seems obvious, but almost every single person I talk to wants to start a voice AI agency overlooks it. Okay. He very, very simply chose a niche he had the most experience in. That's it. Okay. And don't worry about how I spelled this. There we go. He chose the niche he had the most experience in. That's it. Okay. Now, as I go through this, they're going to get more and more complex. The niche is the most simple thing. And so that's where I wanted to start. But it really is simple. A lot of people overcomplicate it. They're going, oh my gosh, how much money is every single niche making on average? Do they really need these kinds of callers? Da, 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 da. Yes, it's important. Go with the niche you have the most experience in. Now, if you have zero experience in anything and your parents don't have any kind of business and your friends don't have any kind of business, okay, fine. Then just use your logic. But if, let's say, your mom owns a bank, or your dad owns an insurance company, or your friend owns a real estate business, or your other friend has a e-com store, whatever it is, whatever you're around, whatever you have experience in, if you've worked in a certain kind of business, choose that niche. So for this client, he chose real estate. Okay. So he wanted to go after real estate agents because he was a real estate agent and he already had an agency that sells some stuff to real estate agents. And so he wanted to sell voice AI now to real estate agents. So with pricing, how did he do this? Because with real estate, obviously, it's going to be more like sales. It's going to be more outbound callers using Nova Echo's outbound calling. That's what he was doing. And so with the Nova Echo outbound callers, they're good. Like they can get sales. And in real estate, if you have one sale, that's worth a significant amount of money. And so even just being able to reach leads a little bit quicker and reach, I don't know, 10 or 20 or 30% more leads every single month, I mean, that's huge. That's going to make you a ton of money. And so what he was able to do is he was able to charge $2,000 a month as a retainer. Now, I want to say that I typically don't recommend going this high when you're selling to, like solopreneurs or real estate agents, whatever you want to call them, small businesses. But he was able to, because in real estate, if you have a technology that can get you even one more deal, like I said, it's worth a lot more than 24K a year. It is typically, especially if they're in, mid to high end real estate. Okay. So he's charging $2,000 a month and he gave everyone a 25% discount at the beginning. So he gave his first like 30 customers a 25% discount, and he made it very clear to them, if you don't get in by X time, it's going up 25%. And so you can get it for $1,500 a month if you get in within the next week. Otherwise, it's going up to $2,000. And they wanted Nova Echo's AI outbound calling so bad that they were like, cool, I'm in. Let's do it. Now, just to be clear, he was expecting between 1 and 3 clients in the first 2 weeks, and he got over 35. Now, that's at 2K a month. Typically, what I would recommend you guys doing is starting at something like $250 a month and then going up to 300 and 400, 500, 600 until you reach the point where it's like, okay, this is how much I can charge to get the maximum total revenue. That's it. And so what it's going to look like is this. You're going to have, charging $0 here. And you're going to have charging, I don't know, $1 million here. If you charge $1 million, 0 people will ever buy your product, this product at least. And if you charge $0, you're not making any money. Then you have, 100, 200, whatever. You're going to find that spot where if you charge more, not enough people want to buy to where it's not even worth it anymore. This is purely experimentation. So I can't tell you definitely charge 2K a month because he did. All I can tell you is he made that work, and that's a great price for him. But depending on your experience in the industry and your market and how you're selling this technology, how you're marketing it, which we'll go into in a second, you're going to have to charge different prices. So what I did when I was first starting is I started really low and I slowly went up. I would really recommend you to do that. Okay, so that's pricing, also fairly simple. Now it comes to marketing. So the way that we did the marketing was, first of all, we'll do number one here. One, he ran it himself and made sure it worked. We needed a case study in order to market this thing, right? Now, he didn't have a case study because he didn't have a client for it. And in order to get that first client, he needed a case study. So you're in this little loop. So how do you get out of it? Well, if you have experience in the industry, use it for yourself or use it for your friend for free or your mom or your dad, whatever. And so he used it for himself. He closed deals with it. He booked appointments with it. And he knew it worked. He saw it work. He had proof it worked. And he had call recordings showing that it worked. Okay. Step two. After he ran it himself, he then did direct outreach to make sure that his pitch was viable. So then he reached out to people and say, hey, these are the results I got in my campaign. I want to get the same ones for you. Okay, how much will that cost? $2,000 a month, except that if you start now, it'll be $1,500 a month. Okay, he got his first one. Cool, viable. It's viable. So once somebody was interested and he got his first one, the next step after that, in this case, was to start meta ads. So now instead of going to people and saying, hey, I got this result, will you be interested at this price? We now put, basically a big poster on Facebook and Instagram that said, hey, we got this results for ourselves and these results for our clients after the direct outreach worked. We can get these same results for you. Okay, click, page comes up. They put in their info. We reach out to them. Hey, I saw you filled out this form. I saw you're interested in getting these results. Do you also want to close a few extra deals a year? Yeah. Okay, and how much will that be worth to you? $1,000 a year. I don't know. If I get an extra 5 deals, it'll be 50,000. Okay. So in order to get this system set up, it's going to be $2,000 a month. However, if you start now, it'll be $1,500. Now, obviously, the sales pitch is more elaborate than that. I'm going to go over that in a different video. But that's the gist of it. So this is also how I recommend you guys start. First, run it yourself or run it for free for somebody that you know personally. Get data. Listen, if it doesn't work, it doesn't work. Don't sell it. If it works, awesome. Sell it. Cool. Then direct outreach. So you're individually reaching out to people. It can be cold calls, it can be cold email, it can be DMs, whatever. And you're getting your pitch down. You'll see what people respond to, what they don't respond to, and you'll get that first real client. Now you can say, we did it for ourselves, we did it for our client. Now on a mass scale, we can do it for you too. That is how you can really scale big, or one of the ways you can really scale big. Okay. So next thing, fulfillment. How in the world did this guy fulfill 35 clients in 17 days? It seems impossible. There's a very short answer here, okay? And it's because of a template that Nova Echo made for him. And so Nova Echo created a template that could be used for his industry. And it's the exact same template that they actually tested together up here. So when he ran the campaign himself, what he did was he used Nova Echo to dial in exactly what worked best for that campaign. And so every single time he made 100 calls, he would look at the recording, see what worked, see what didn't, adjust the script within Nova Echo and run it again. And Nova Echo helped him through that whole process and the prompt engineering for it. So then once he was able to do that, he had a really, really solid template that he proved it worked. Then he ran it with even more leads with his first client. That first client gave him even more feedback so he could improve it even further. Now he had a really strong template. And so every single time he got somebody, because he's niched down in the same industry, he was able to take this template, copy paste it, and then just make small tweaks to make sure everything was accurate. So he was able to do that 35 times in 17 days. If he didn't have this template, if Nova Echo didn't do the prompt engineering outline for him, he would never have been able to do this, because building an agent that's good takes a whole lot longer than that. And it did, but it was done beforehand. So if you're going to be doing this, after you do the direct outreach and after you've gotten that first client, put together a template for what kind of script and prompt engineering and everything works best. And again, Nova Echo, which I'll talk about in a second, can help you with that. Now, you got to do that before you start the large scale campaigns, like the viral content on social media or the meta ads or anything like that. If you don't, you'll actually be in a worse situation as you get more clients. And I've seen that happen before. I've personally been associated with companies that have grown too fast and failed because of it, because they didn't have the right processes in place and they made too many people angry because they didn't get delivered on in time. It's a real problem. I know it doesn't seem like one, but it is. It's a good one, but it's a problem. Okay. Finally, technology. Now, I've been talking about this technology a lot in this video because it is what powers all of this. And it is, of course, Nova Echo. Okay. Now, Nova Echo is the most advanced AI technology in the entire world for voice AI systems. I'm sure you've probably heard of Retail or VAPI or something like that. If you want your clients to stay with you for a long time and not churn, I highly recommend you use Nova Echo. And if you want to get coaching, I'm not selling you a course or anything. If you want to get coaching on how to do sales and marketing correctly, that way you can bring in more clients consistently. And like right now, this video should give you an outline of what to do, but I don't know your exact situation, so I cannot coach you directly. The way to do that is to use Nova Echo because I'm associated with Nova Echo. And so I help every single person who uses it. There's also a lot of very experienced people on the Nova Echo team who have decades of experience in Fortune 500s and implementing brand new technologies to new countries, and people that have built multiple 7-figure companies and this, that, and the other. People have built 8 and 9-figure companies and sold them. All of those kinds of people are part of Nova Echo, and I know them personally, and they're amazing. And so if you want to get access to that kind of knowledge with the sales and marketing, if you want to get access to the best technology and the best templates you can possibly use Nova Echo. There's going to be a link in the description. It's simply a software for you to build voice AI agents on. It's not any kind of course or anything. We just give every single one of the people that work with us that also want to resell this technology as much support as we possibly can. Because if you don't make money, we literally don't make money. We literally don't, because we get paid based on how much money you make. And that's how we run things, so that we're incentivized to help you as much as possible. So again, highly recommend Nova Echo. But for now, what you need to do is choose an niche you have the most experience in, pick a low price. I wanted to give you this because it's the truth. You charge $2,000 a month. I would start with like 2 to 500, and then on every single client, increase it until you start getting too many no's. A good rate is to be at like 20 to 35% closing rate. Ideally close to like 30%, right? If you're way above that, you want to increase your prices. If you're below that, you probably want to decrease your prices or maybe take a fucking sales course. I'm not going to lie. Then right here, you want to run a campaign yourself. You want to do direct outreach. Only once you've done direct outreach and gotten a client, let me be really clear, and they've been successful and happy and they stay with you, should you then scale to meta ads. And during that process, you should absolutely use a template from the best technology in the entire world. I'll see you in the next one.